Joy, so this is the third session. Let's continue what we was trying to do with the pop method. Can you hear me, Joy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you, again, let me put here. This is our stack. We put here 8, and this is at the 0 position. And now our stack pointer is pointing to 1. And yes, the stack pointer is pointing to 1 here, but here is 0 because we didn't put anything. Okay, so is that correct to be able to get the last item that we inserted? Is this line correct like that? Should we try to do like that and see?
Yeah.
Okay, good. To try, then we have to call pop. So after we do the push, actually we can even try before we try something here. Let's test that pop first without entering anything. Okay. Did you notice that? Stack is empty.
Yeah.
So after you printed the stack, which is all zeros, you try to pop. Pop means get the last item inside the stack array, but it's already empty. You didn't enter anything. So it will tell you the stack is empty. So let's try to insert something first. After this, we try the pop again. Okay, we try the pop here. So here we will push something first. Okay, good. Now run. Okay, let's put 9. Okay, so after we put 9, we printed the array, and we know that it's already inserted. And then, okay, we tried to pop, but we never know what happened. It doesn't print anything. Actually, it printed something, but I think, what do you think? It printed something or no? Let's try to think what did actually happen. So listen, I'm listening.
It popped the value, but we haven't printed the stack again.
Yes, but please note something, that we have a line here that should be printing something to us. So if the stack is not empty, and I'm sure it is not because we already entered 9 and we already printed the stack, so this condition should never occur. The stack is actually not empty, and there is no even printing for stack is empty, right? So it means that it's already executed that line. But so it means that if it already executed it and it doesn't print any error, this means that it's already truly printed something. Okay, you want to know. Let me see. No, I will not be able to show it to you. So if the pop we make the function correct, whatever value that we entered should be printed to us. So it means that this line should print 8 or even 9 in our case, because we entered 9, because that's the first thing and the last thing that we entered inside the stack. But what happened here, it doesn't output 9 to us. It doesn't print 9 to us. It actually printed 0. So if you counted these zeros, so count, okay, first we have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then this is an extra 0. Okay, how I know it's an extra 0? Let us have a look here. So that's the first time when we printed the stack. Let's count here again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the normal printing for the stack is 10, but at the bottom he's printing 11. Why? Because he actually printed whatever in this position, okay, which is actually wrong in our case. So what we should do actually is we say stack pointer Okay, let me see. Okay, we should say stack pointer equal stack pointer. Let me see. -1. I'm not sure why he's not accepting. Is it there is an error here? Find the line stack. STAC. STAC. Never mind. Here. I'm not sure why he's not accepting it. Okay. So here, well, so every time we push something, please see here. After we push something, so we increment the stack pointer. So in our case now, you inserted here 8 at the position 0, and then you incremented the stack pointer to 0.1. So you are ready to receive a new value, to push a new value inside the new empty position inside the stack. But when you want to pop, then you have to go one step at the back, subtract 1 from the stack pointer, and print the last entered value. So that's why you want to subtract -1. Can we try and see if what we have done is correct or wrong? Okay, we entered value, we put 10. So, okay, so you see 10 is printed at the end. Okay, so that is actually the result of the push. And to be able to make it clear, sorry, result of the pop. So we can put like that just to make it clear. So we put here 9. Now see, I'm so sorry here. So do you see now?
Yeah.
Is it clear to you? Can we continue? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually now this is how it works. Let's continue. The function pop returns -1 if the stack is empty. So that's all modification to the function pop. Okay, we know how it works, but he asked us to modify from it. So he wants the pop function to return -1 if the stack is empty. If the stack is not empty, it returns the element at the top of the stack and updates the relevant pointer. Okay, right, the pop function. So he changed the pop now. Instead of printing something here, so if the stack is empty, he wanted to return -1. Okay, we changed. That's easy. Okay, we know already that he want to return whatever inside the stack, whatever inside the stack, the last thing that value we entered inside the stack, he wanted to return back. So he make a return statement, and after he get, so previously just now we use a print statement, but now we want to store it inside a variable, and we want to return that variable. Okay, and then of course this is a normal. We decrement the stack -1. Is it clear? Is there anything confusing here?
No.
Okay, we move to the next. Okay, Q. Let's put it on the next and next session, and let me try to move to other things, because there's other concepts that will take some time from you. Okay, let me think here. Okay, I will talk now about string manipulation. Okay, so to be able to, there is certain function that we can use with a string. Okay, so here, did we talk about strings before? I don't think so. Did you know about strings before? Did you know
No.
that you can access the string exactly same like in Python and most of the programming language, they consider the any string they treat it as if it is an array. It is an array of characters. At position 0, there is the P. Position 1, there is A. So all the strings is treated like that. So if you have a string and then you want to get the first character, then you can treat it as an array and use the index 0 to get the first character. Okay. If you want to get the last thing of the array, then you use also an index to get the last character. So let's see how he does that. Okay. Okay. So this is what actually you told me a few minutes ago, that actually you are able to use. So if he store PapersDock inside the name, so this is a string, he store it inside the name variable. So he is able to, if he want to get the word papers, if you want to get only like that, then he pass it between the square brackets, he treat it as an array, and he get whatever from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But why he put 6 here? Because that is not inclusive. The numbers that you put here is not inclusive. So when you put 6 here, so it gets from 0 to 5, or from whatever number you put here until this number minus 1, because it is not inclusive. It is exclusive. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So what can... okay, that's how he's doing it. As again, PapersDock is a string. He stored it in a name, and then he gets whatever between 0 to 6, and he store it in another, and then he print. And then to get the remaining of the string, then he get from 6 to 10. So again, that's we said that this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he get whatever from 6 until 10, and we said this is 10 is not inclusive, so it's actually from 6 to 9. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. We move to the next. So okay, that's an interesting thing. So he want to separate the first name from the last name, and be aware that there is a space in the middle. Okay, the space actually counts. So if we want, okay, whatever we do to the array to get the length of the array, we can also do with a string. So we are able actually to get the length of the string by using the length function. So if you do like that, length, and you pass it the string, it will get you the length of the string. Okay. Now, separate the first name and the last name after taking the full name as an input. So he give us a code here, and he want to, okay, see. The first line is doing what? Is taking input from the user. The second line is he's initializing a variable to called first length to 0. The total length, he passed the string that the user input, and he to the length function to get how big is the string that we passed, and then he used a for loop. He want to loop through the total length. The total length is actually the length of the strings that we input. So if we put joy, okay, so we should be having the total length as 3. Okay, so x will have a value from 0 to 2. Okay, because joy equal length equals 3. Okay, so actually this is a nice method that he's trying to teach us, and And actually, there is certain things in the exam that you might need to use that in, okay? But I will tell you an easier way after I explain this to you. So first, he checked an if statement. He said what? He said name X, the name that you stored joy inside. Okay, he would check the first character here at 0. When X equals 0, we started with X equals 0, right? So at this position, I start to look. Sorry, I'm so sorry. We supposed to buy full to put full name, so it's not only Joy. It should be Joy Sami, just for simplicity. Okay. Okay. So Joy Sami is actually how many? Can we count? This is there is a space here.
8.
8. Okay, with a space or without? With a space, right?
With the space. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So here will be 8. Okay, and here also will be 8. So we will be running from 0 to 7. Okay. So at the first name, X will be 0. So we will be checking here at joy equals 0. So what is what we are checking here? He is checking that this whatever inside the string is not an empty space. This is a sign of empty space. Double quotation with the empty space inside. So we are checking, searching for this exact position. The mark that separates the first name from the last name is the space in between, right? So here we're checking. He's searching for the white space. Once he reached the white space, then he have to stop. He knows that he already reached the first name. Okay, so every time this condition becomes true, that this is not a space, then he increment the first length variable here by 1. Okay, so here J is not an empty space. So now the first length become 1. So with the O also it is not an empty space. So the first length become 2. And we come to Y, and then also it's not an empty space. So we will increase the first length here by 1. It will become 3. And then we come here. Okay, so this condition will become false, so it will not increment here. Okay, so we will move to the first, and this else is actually break. It break. What means it breaks? It breaks the for loop. So it will exit the for loop. It will not run the for loop anymore. So it will take. So now we try to get the first name from that. How to get the first name? We know that we mark it ourselves by the empty space. So if we get from 0 to 3, which is the content of the first length that we keep incrementing here, so we're getting from here until okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is not is exclusive, so we will get from 0 to 2. So we'll be able to store joy inside the first name. Okay, to get the last name is actually he's getting the remaining of the string. So he just want to get, he mark that +1. He put +1 here to start from Sami, because at the moment first length is pointing at the white space, but the second name start after the white space by 1 character. So he incremented first length to become 4, and then until the length until 8. Actually 8 it does not point to I. Here I point to 7, but this is not inclusive, so we have to -1. So total length is 8 here, and total length is not inclusive, so he will get from 4 to 7, and then he will print Sami. Does this make any sense to you? It's a bit complicated, but does this make any sense? Do you want to try it, or it's somehow clear?
I think I'll try it.
Okay, you want to try? We try it now, or you try it later?
I can also try it later.
Okay, but okay, fine. but just let me. So the concept is good for you to know, because you might need it in something in the exam. Okay, but
Okay.
in reality, you can actually achieve what this guy have done by just one line of function. So if we have a full name that's called Sami Kivisalo, just by using split function, you can actually divide what this full name into two halves, because they have empty space in between. Okay, and you pass two variables here to it, first and last. Okay, and this split function job is to cut the string into two halves and store the first half in first variable and the second half in the last variable. So it's just one line that can do the job of the whole thing here. Okay, so that's worth trying. So that will only take a few seconds from us. It will not take long. So you see these lines two. See these two lines, 280 and 281. Okay, so again, I can easily define first here. Yeah, empty, and also last equal empty. Okay, so I define the two variables, and then I want to say that these two variables should be carrying the result of the split function here. This is a variable, and we use a split function. Let's try to run. Okay, let's put something here for them. Okay, a split function doesn't work. Why? Can you read with me? I put three things. Sorry, it's my mistake. It's not your issue. It's my mistake. Okay, I was trying something different. Okay, so now can you see the output here? This is the output from the print function on line 285.
Okay.
So the first now have the first name. The last variable has the last name. So that's easy. Okay. If you have let's say he asks you to enter a full name, and this full name is actually having instead of two white spaces, one white space, it have two white spaces. So it's three names. A full name contains of three names. So we can add something here. We put second, first, second, and last, and then we can add here to print. Okay, second, like that, and see what this guy is going to pass to us. I'm sorry here. Okay. Now can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is it's a good function. Okay. Now let's return back. So actually, by now we already finished. The string. This string manipulation slide that we need to know now. But I want to start something a bit faster. Hopefully we can catch the time. So I want to introduce you to something called object-oriented programming. Okay. Did you hear about that before? Did you hear about objects and classes before? So okay, what we have been running so far is called procedural programming concept. It means that we define functions and we define variables, and it's all mixed up. As you see, we have been putting a lot of functions in the same place that is unrelated to each other. We put push with pop, with print arrays, with accessing files. It's all unrelated functions. So if we want to run, if we want to build a big software, normally the big software solution can be 5,000 lines. So it is very hard to maintain these 5,000 lines if you have all in one file, and if they are not organized in a way that we can really understand how they are related to each other. Okay, if it give you error in a line number 2000, and then you have to check this 2000 is related to line 1000, why is it not, why is the error is happening? You will never know. So they come up with a concept which is object-oriented programming. They try to gather data together, functions and variables together that is related to each other. Okay, and they call them classes. Okay, so classes or objects here. So I can make a class that is a car. A car can be a class. Okay, the car can have a model. It can have a manufacturing date, and it can have let's say it can have a function that it is able to move. It is able to move forward. Is able to move backward. Okay, that can be a function that is that is related to the class. Okay, an object is something. I would say that object is. I would say Mercedes is an object. The car is the class. Okay, so when you create real objects of the class, which is car, you give it a real names like Mercedes or even Fiat or Nissan or whatsoever. Okay, so let's have a look here. He's giving us an example. He say data, which is variables. He's talking about variables here, and functions that belong to a single entity can be grouped into a single object. So he's talking now about a game, and he's talking about everything related to the game. He wants to group them together under something called class. Okay, let's see how he does that. Okay, so he would say for that thing that he's drawing to us here, for that thing, actually so this is a game. So he's saying, okay, we have a player name, we have X position, Y position, width and height. All this is variables that is related to the game that he wants us to deal with. Okay, so instead of writing global variables and local variables and spreading all our variables inside the program, we want to group them together in one file. Okay, let's see how he does it. And then he have a methods, which is, so a function is actually called a method inside a class. So we are able to do a method or a function called collision, movement, score, calculation. Okay, let's move to the next and see how that works. So as I said to you just a few whiles ago, the difference between a class and object is the class is it's like in this case, if you look at the left hand side, it's like a drawing that is showing to us here. Okay, a drawing of a villa or a house, but there is nothing real about that drawing. But when you make when you give how to say, you want to make that drawing live, now it turns to become an object. Same when I have a class. So we have to stop here and then we continue again on the next session. Okay, please enter using the same link. Joy?
Yeah.